This is Black History Month, and we're celebrating at Johnson Elementary School. Harriet Tubman, she was also nicknamed Moses, because she was instrumental in helping slaves to escape to freedom. The Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad was one of the most important aspects of slavery. The Underground Railroad was started by Harriet Tubman. People called her Moses because she helped so many people escape to freedom. This Underground Railroad was not really an underground railroad. It was a way for slaves to escape into freedom, an idea most slaves could only dream of. She helped slaves cross the bridge over the Choptank River and find friends who would let them briefly stay with them in Delaware. Tubman helped slaves escape to Canada, for the most part, and some to the north, as far north as they could get, where they would receive a little bit more respect and racial equality. According to estimates, the South lost about 100,000 slaves between 1810 and 1850. Escaping was not the easiest thing at all, because if it was, all the slaves in the South would have run away. First of all, slaves had to run away and escape from their slaveholders. The slaves would usually travel at night, so they had lesser chances of getting caught. They usually traveled about 10 to 20 miles to the next station or rest stop, where they would rest and eat. They usually hid out in barns. Sometimes they traveled by train or boat. A slave would be easy to tell from other people because of their ragged clothing. Therefore, money was donated sometimes to help them buy nicer clothes to pretend not to be slaves. The Underground Railroad was primarily run by John Fairfield, Levi Coffin, and Harriet Tubman. Harriet made about 19 trips to the South and escorted over 300 slaves to freedom. The quilts had a secret meaning for slaves escaping slavery. Each square in this quilt has a special meaning, and we'll go over that square by square. On this particular slide, you see a picture on the top left. It says Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. This was taken off of a website, off of a play that someone had done. If you look to the right, you will see a map underlying the Underground Railroad routes. If you'll notice, most of the routes are heading north. The slaves were trying to escape the South and get further north. The further north that they got, the more freedom that they would have. Most of them were trying to journey to Canada. The safe places would hang out quilts, the quilts that has the special codes in it. If you'll notice in this picture below, you'll see that you have a bigger house, and then there's like a clothesline or two going to a smaller house. The smaller house was like a smokehouse, and this is where people would cure meat back in the olden days. When they would kill their hogs and things, they would cure the meat out in the special smokehouse. So they made a clothesline, and they would drape the quilt over this line, and that way when slaves were traveling and they could see that, they could get the clues from the quilt on where to go next or where to get safe to a safe place. Quilt code. Wagon wheel. Load the wagon or prepare to board the wagon to begin the escape. Quilt code. Log cabin. A secret symbol that could be drawn on the ground indicating that a person is safe to talk to. It also advises a shelter for those who are seeking shelter. Quilt code. Crossroads. This refers to Cleveland, Ohio, a destination offering several routes to freedom. It also signifies reaching a point where a person's life will change. so one must be willing to go on. Quilt code, bear's paw. Take a mountain trail out of view. Follow the path made by bear tracks. They can lead you to water and food. Quilt code, flying geese. This points to a direction to follow, such as where geese would fly during spring migration. Quilt code, monkey wrench. Prepare the tools you'll need for the long journey, including the mental and spiritual tools, or as ships will, the pilot is prepared to begin the transport. Quilt code, drunkard's path. Create a zigzag path. Do not walk in a straight line to avoid pursuers in this area. Quilt code, bow tie. Dress in a disguise or put on a change of clothes. Quilt code, shoe fly. Possibly identifies a friendly guide who is nearby and can help. Quilt code, star. Follow the North Star, worked in conjunction with the Big Dipper. Mrs. Spears has books in our library that go right along with our studies on Black History Month.
Follow the drinking gold. Follow the drinking gold. Follow the drinking gold. For the old man's waiting for to carry you to freedom.